Hey everybody, it's Chad and
Emily.
it is, what's today?
Saturday, September 1st.
September 1st, coming at you live, sort of, from the screen house in the backyard. Here today to give you an update and show you how to measure a pumpkin. Emily and I just measured, what's this pumpkin's name?
Gouda.
Gouda, and I see the little Gouda right there in frame of our son, due October 22nd. So, how do we measure the pumpkin, sweetie?
You measure around it?
Around it. So
circumference.
we'll try and do this somewhat on camera. So we're going to measure around. You want to go around the widest part of the pumpkin. So she's fishing it over there. And then she'll bring it over here. So the widest part of the pumpkin is
143.
So 143 inches. Then I'll put it down all the way to the front of the pumpkin. So this is we're just kind of eyeballing it a little bit here. And I'm lowering it all the way to what looks to be parallel with the bottom of the pumpkin. And then Emily takes it all the way down to the bottom.
94.
94. So front to back is 94. You want to put that one over there, sweetie? And then we do side to side. And we go side to side on the average of the widest, and that is 104 inches. So you add 104 plus 143, that equals 240. No, not 243. Why can I not do simple math? So 143 plus 104 is 147. Man, 247. Holy moly. High school was the best 10 years of my life. And then we had, what was front to back? We'll call it 101. So 348. Well, let's just say it's 348 or thereabouts. And then that equals, you will correlate that measurement.
Pro tip, bring something to record your values on while you're measuring them.
Yes, otherwise you forget. Typically, we have an app on our telephone. Will you get next to the pumpkin for scale? We have an app on our telephone that will show us how big it is. So Gouda is still growing, looking pretty good. Emily's belly's still growing. It's looking real good. And yeah, so let's go check out the other ones. Emily and I just measured. Do we have a name for this one over here?
No.
We just measured the unnamed. Oh yeah, that's a great suggestion. If you have a name suggestion for this one over here, this pumpkin and this pumpkin are the exact same seed. You could tell the color's pretty spot on. Pumpkin shape is different. This one's name is Gouda. This one over here is Tooth. That one over there is McRib. So we need a name for this guy. So if you have a name suggestion, let us know. How big was it? It was like 600? It was over 600. And then we have another one growing in there somewhere. So we'll walk around, give everybody the update. Pretzel's leading the way. It's a beautiful September 1st evening. I would say it's probably, mid-70s? Mid-70s here in Denver, Colorado. I can smell the neighbors are... One neighbor's smoking something. No, another neighbor has like a Weber kettle grill going. I can smell the briquettes and copious amounts of lighter fluid. So you know it's a good fall or late summer. Huh? Yeah, the garden is we've learned lots and lots this year. We have lots of little pumpkins. That's probably been one of the most successful not garlic onion crop. There's a pumpkin that's right there. It's kind of camouflaged. Lots of tomatoes, but the problem with the tomatoes is we planted them so close together. They're just so darn clustered that it's difficult to pick them. So our little tiny pumpkins are going great, and we're still getting some. We have a little watermelon there that we could probably pick. I picked a watermelon yesterday, and it was pretty good, but it almost tasted like it was pollinated with garlic or something. There was a weird taste. Yeah, and it was one of the small giant pumpkins. So that was interesting. But yeah, as you can see, there's little pumpkins everywhere. Yeah, yeah. Look, there's some
Literally over there.
there's some giant squash. Like, you gotta get the squash. Look at the squashes in there.
They're done.
Squashes and zucchini. No more. Emily's done with squash. The pumpkins, the other size pumpkins, those are ready. We should probably pick those so the rabbits don't get them. It's a beautiful looking jack-o'-lantern. Kind of proud of those. Little watermelon over there, or giant watermelon. I bet you they have a weight chart for those. We could weigh that one or measure it if we really felt like it, but I can feel Emily shaking her head behind me that that's not necessary. And what else is neat? Onions. We've been pulling our onions. Oh, I would say this is something's digging a burrow or something right here. Oh, something's digging a burrow under this watermelon. There's a watermelon that I just found. Peppers are doing good. Look at all these peppers. Holy moly, we need to come harvest some peppers. There's copious amounts of peppers. Cabbages, we've been eating a lot of cabbage. Swiss chard needs harvested. Pulled some beets for Grandma. Kale. Oh my gosh, just so many weeds. So many weeds. Oh, bell peppers. Look at that. Huh. I'll be darned. Bell peppers are looking good. The weeds are looking fantastic. Unfortunately. So next year we're going to use some weed cloth, some weed barrier to help us with our weed woes. So if you didn't watch the last video and you're wondering what all this plant is, I pulled the plant on tooth. So here shortly I'm going to plant a mustard covered crop. But tooth, the 2043 commence plant split. So that happened while I was in China. And you know, you could be mistaken to think that this was a nice looking pumpkin, but then we swing around the backside of tooth and look at that. Woo! That's an ugly pumpkin. So from this angle it looks like a tooth. It literally looks like a molar. Emily eating a tomato that she picked. So that's why we call that one tooth. The stump on tooth. Nice big. Pull this up. Well, he's not growing anymore. So pretty good looking stump. I'm quite happy with that. So I would say he's about 10 foot out on the main vine. And then the mane on this guy continued to wrap around towards Emily. The main vine on Gouda is covered with suckers. Oh my gosh. Just so many little sucker vines. The plant looks pretty healthy. Not a lot of aphids on this one, fortunately, because there's aphids everywhere else. You can see I need to spray again. And look at that. That pumpkin, that's bigger than I thought it was. Look at that guy. Hiding back there. That's at least a 200-pound pumpkin. Just hiding in the weeds. And then we got McRib. McRib was, do you remember? We just measured him. All the information is on the phone.
700 something?
He's 700 and something pounds. So that's a nice, really orange. He's starting to get real pretty. Unfortunately, he's got that blob shape. But it's all good. Anything to add, sweetie? Nope.
Come help us weed.
Come help us weed. Send help. That's what we're making our own help. Hopefully in about how old can children start weeding?
Depends if you want them to weed actual weeds or plants.
I would say weeds.
I don't know. As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. So if you know how old a child has to be to start weeding, leave a comment below. So, ooh, yeah, or if you have a kid at home that likes pulling weeds, that can discern between pumpkin plant and weeds, send him on over. We will put him to work and teach him all about giant pumpkins. That's all I can really update you guys on. We've got the barky dogs. Jamie's on vacation. Stupid squirrels ate all the seeds out of my sunflowers. That one I really wasn't concerned about, but this is the one I wanted to take the seeds out of. And the squirrels ate them all. So that's bunkus on that. Gourds are growing. And I think that's it. As always, guys, questions, comments, queries, concerns, post below. We're always happy to help. We're 27 days away from our first weigh off. And then I'm about, 60 days away from Emily's blast off. So we're going to be quite busy coming up. We haven't opened up the beehive for a while. We've been letting it do its thing. But lots of bee activity. So we're probably going to dig in there tomorrow and check it out. And that's the full update. It's starting to get nice and cool in the evening times, which is good for us, bad for pumpkins, but I'm ready for a little bit of a respite from the heat. Emily's checking on the tortoises. And that's it. I'll wrap it up. We're at about 12 minutes, guys. Let us know how your season's growing. Like the video, subscribe, share it with a friend. And for God's sakes, get out there and grow yourself a giant pumpkin. Talk to you soon. Bye.